theocratic science. I've seen theocratic science. When I was teaching at Rutgers, I had a student who was from Pakistan, and she provided me a lot of articles in English about Muslim science and how the goal of Muslim science should be they actually didn't talk so much about God, but they talked about principles of good and bad that could be discovered and dealt with, and they were talking about good and evil as the subject matter of science.
No, I think that's a worthwhile point. It's interesting that you brought up Muslim science. About 3 or 4 years ago, I started, because I have a little web page with a lot of evolution stuff up on it. I started to get emails from Turkey and Lebanon and even a couple from Iran, believe it or not, of students who wanted me to answer their questions about evolution. And a few of them I asked, why are you asking me this? And they connected me with the writings that go under the pen name of Harun Yahya, who is an Islamic writer based in Turkey, who has written a whole series of anti-evolution books. And one of the students was actually kind enough to buy me an English translation of the book and mail it to me from Turkey so that I could see what all this was about. And it astonished me. 2 parts about it were, one was, I suppose, not so astonishing, and one was downright hilarious. The not so astonishing parts is that all of the arguments made in the Islamic world for the scientific insufficiencies of evolution are just recycled versions of the ones that I've talked to you about here. So there's nothing new. But the second part was genuinely amusing. And that is, Harun Yahya argued to his young readers that they should appreciate the fact that evolution is a Western Christian plot to subvert the morals of Islamic youth. And as part of his proof of this, he pointed out that Charles Darwin studied for the priesthood of the Church of England. And that proves to you that he's just another crusader, which I thought was a rather interesting take.
Now, onto the book. Onto the book itself. Unlike most Christian fundamentalists who think the world was created in 6 days, 6,000 years ago, Adnan Oktar is an old Earth creationist. He understands what fossils are, and he agrees that they're old. His one point, which is bludgeoned home on every single page of this enormous book, is that ancient animals haven't changed. So that's his strategy, quite different from the Christian fundamentalists. His strategy is on every page he has a fossil, and then next door to it he has a modern animal, and he says, look, they're exactly the same as each other.